In 2025, we find ourselves immersed in a digital jungle where attention is currency, noise is everywhere, and everyone wants to be heard. The louder you are, the more you're seen. But there's a secret that few know. In a world addicted to noise, silence becomes the sharpest weapon. Silence is no longer just the absence of sound, it's the presence of clarity. It's your sanctuary. While others seek validation from likes, shares, and views, you detach yourself from that cycle and walk your own path in silence. Because when you're focused on yourself, truly focused, there's no room for outside noise. Everywhere you look, people are hustling to show off their highlight reels, broadcasting their next move, and narrating their journey in real time. But here's the truth. The real transformations, the ones that change your life, happen in private. They happen in those unseen hours when no one is cheering you on, when it's just you, your thoughts, and your mission. That's when strength is forged. That's when confidence is built. You don't need to be seen to be progressing. You don't need to be heard to be growing. What you need is discipline, solitude, and purpose. Focusing on yourself means setting boundaries, not because you're selfish, but because you're finally choosing to protect your peace. It's about pulling your energy back from people who only take and environments that drain you. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, I owe it to myself to become better, not louder. Better, not more visible, more valuable. When you stay silent, you're not ignoring the world, you're tuning into your own. You're choosing to hear your own thoughts clearly without the static of other people's opinions. You're starting to ask the right questions. What do I want? What does success mean to me? What am I willing to sacrifice for my future? And the answers to those questions don't come to you. Rough external noise. They come in quiet moments when the world fades and your mind focuses. The world will pressure you to speak, to share, to shout. But real strength is found in the ability to hold back, to keep something for yourself, to grow roots before you show leaves. A tree doesn't announce its growth, it just stretches toward the sky silently, and one day it stands tall, unshaken by wind or storm. Be like that tree. Let your silence become your soil. Let your consistency become your water. Let your purpose be your sunlight, and you will grow quietly, steadily, powerfully. True silence is not emptiness, it's full of clarity. It's rich with purpose. It's where you meet the deepest parts of yourself, the parts you've been ignoring because the world was too loud. In 2025, silence is the new power play. It's your space to recharge, reset, and rise. Let others get caught in the noise. Let them waste time trying to be noticed. You stay focused on building. Don't get pulled into the illusion that noise equals impact. Many make noise, few make a difference. Focus on becoming the latter. Your energy is not infinite. Every distraction steals from your goals. Every unnecessary conversation, every toxic connection, every moment spent explaining yourself to those who don't listen, it all chips away at your power. Silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the refusal to be drained by what doesn't serve you. You must become obsessed with protecting your energy in 2025. That means choosing stillness over stimulation, depth over distraction, long-term fulfillment over temporary validation, and yes, silence over noise. When you stop explaining yourself, you start honoring yourself. When you stop broadcasting your every move, you start moving with greater intention. People don't need to know what you're doing. They need to see who you become. Let them wonder why you're quiet. Let them assume whatever they want. While they guess, you execute. While they speculate, you transform. Let your silence fuel your success story. Because silence in the hands of a focused person is more explosive than a million empty words. The power of silence lies not just in what it hides, but in what it builds. It is in silence that leaders are born, legacies are shaped, and legends are written. Your story begins with stillness. Embrace it. There's a certain type of magic in working behind closed doors, in planting seeds in private and watching them blossom when no one saw the watering. This is the blueprint for success in 2025. Build in private, create in silence, plan without broadcasting, and win so unapologetically that your results speak louder than your words ever could. When you build in private, you eliminate external judgment, pressure, and unnecessary noise. Public progress is often performative. But private progress, that's where the true grind happens. It's the early mornings with no alarm, the nights when you push through fatigue, the missed parties, the unposted victories. That's where character is built. You don't have to make announcements every time you take a step. You don't need approval at every milestone. Keep your head down. Keep your work sacred. People will talk regardless, so let them talk about your success when it's undeniable. Privacy is power. The fewer people who know your plans, the fewer obstacles you'll encounter. Everyone doesn't need access to your progress, most won't understand your vision anyway, and many will project their own fears onto your journey. So why invite confusion where clarity is needed? Why open your door to doubt when you're busy building your legacy? While others chase viral moments, you must chase mastery. You're not here to impress, you're here to evolve. And evolution doesn't require attention, it requires effort, it requires focus, it requires sacrifice. Real builders are too busy laying bricks to update the world on every stone they place. Let your work speak. Let your results echo. Let your transformation be felt without ever needing to be explained. In 2025, privacy is the new flex. Working in silence is the new confidence. And success without spectacle is the ultimate revenge. Choose to be a force so rooted in discipline that your silence becomes louder than any applause you could receive. There is a quiet revolution happening behind closed doors. While others glamorize the hustle, real winners are rising in the shadows. They're learning, training, practicing, planning. Every second is invested, not wasted. While the world looks for distractions, these individuals are obsessed with progress. That's the mindset you need. You're not here to fit in, you're here to stand out. And you do that by separating yourself from the noise. Silence protects your power. It gives you room to breathe, to reflect, to recalibrate. Think of it as your training ground, where champions are made, not on the stage, but in the shadows. That space is yours. Use it wisely. You don't have to justify your silence. You don't have to explain why you're not out partying, not uploading your every move, not joining every conversation. You're focused. You're building. And when the time comes, you'll emerge as proof that privacy is not invisibility. It's incubation. It's preparation. Building in private means you learn without judgment. You fail without fear. You adapt quickly, pivot silently, and rise unexpectedly. You're not held back by people's outdated opinions of you because they never saw your evolution in the first place. You control the narrative by refusing to give one. No one can twist your story if they don't know the script. That's the beauty of silence. It eliminates interference. You move with freedom. You choose who gets access to your growth. And that selective exposure is what gives you an edge. Let others announce every minor achievement. You focus on stacking real wins. Let them seek attention. You seek improvement. And trust me, when your results are ready, they won't need an introduction. What you're building requires energy. Protect that energy like your future depends on it, because it does. Every moment you spend explaining yourself is a moment you've taken away from creating. Every person who doubts you is a distraction from your own belief. Cut it all off, tune it all out, and go inward. Inward is where the real answers are. Inward is where the ideas spark, the breakthroughs happen, the strategies develop. Every successful person you admire went through a phase of isolation, a season of silence, a period of private struggle. That's the price of growth. That's the ticket to greatness. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be effective. And effectiveness doesn't need commentary. It needs commitment. Silence gives you the space to develop that commitment without interruption. When your environment is quiet, your purpose gets louder. You begin to realize what truly matters. You start prioritizing your time differently. You stop trying to prove yourself and start trying to improve yourself. And slowly but surely, your identity begins to shift. You become the kind of person who doesn't flinch when doubted, who doesn't respond when provoked, who doesn't need to show receipts because the results are too big to ignore. That's what silence builds, unshakable inner power. This year, make silence your ally. Let it guard your goals. Let it shield your momentum. Let it fuel your focus. Because when the world sees what you've been building in private, they won't just be surprised, they'll be inspired. And that right there is the loudest statement you can ever make. In 2025, if you want to rise above mediocrity and create a life of clarity, power, and purpose, it starts with one thing: self-mastery. Not mastery of others, not control over external forces, but complete and unapologetic command over yourself. Because when you master yourself, you unlock every door to your future. You no longer depend on circumstances or people to make you feel powerful. You become the source. Mastery begins within. It's not a show, it's not a title, it's not a motivational phrase. It's a quiet, relentless journey of taming your impulses, sharpening your mindset, and forging a rock-solid inner world. It's waking up every day with a standard, a promise, a commitment to rise, to evolve, and to never negotiate with laziness, distractions, or excuses. To master yourself, you must know yourself. That means spending time in stillness. That means being brutally honest about your weaknesses. That means tracking your patterns, understanding your triggers, and taking responsibility for your actions. Not blaming, not pointing fingers, just owning everything. Because the moment you take full ownership, you take full control. Silence plays a critical role in this journey. Without silence, there's no space to think, no room to reflect, and no depth in your decisions. The world is built to distract you from yourself, notifications, headlines, gossip, trends, but when you mute the outside, you hear your own voice louder. That voice, the real one, not the one shaped by fear or influence, knows exactly who you're supposed to become. Self-mastery isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Are you aligned with your goals or just moving out of habit? Are you leading yourself with vision or letting circumstances dictate your path? Mastery requires awareness. That's the first rule. You can't change what you won't confront, and you can't confront what you won't acknowledge. Every decision you make this year will either feed your future or rob it. That extra hour in bed, that conversation you didn't need, that reaction you couldn't control. It all adds up, so start paying attention to the micro decisions, because they compound, and so does your discipline. Self-mastery is about designing your environment to support your highest self. If something is draining you, remove it. If someone is distracting you, create space. If a habit is holding you back, replace it. Don't wait for rock bottom. You're not here to survive. You're here to dominate, to thrive, to lead. Start small. Win your mornings. Command your routines. Read when you don't feel like it. Move your body when it's easier to sit. Eat to fuel, not to cope. Speak with intention, not just reaction. Every moment is a vote for the person you are becoming. Cast wisely. Remember this, if you can't lead yourself, nothing else you build will last. Your relationships, your business, your goals, they're all reflections of your inner state. Chaos inside leads to chaos outside, but when your inner world is solid, calm, focused, powerful, everything you touch carries that energy. Be the kind of person who doesn't need external validation, who isn't shaken by criticism, who isn't dependent on perfect conditions to execute. That's mastery. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's steady. And that steadiness, that's what builds empires. In 2025, distractions are everywhere. Comfort is being sold like a drug. But you must rise above the fog. You must be the exception, the one who doesn't bend to trends, the one who doesn't get pulled by emotion, the one who chooses purpose over pleasure. Daily, ruthlessly, consistently, build rituals, structure your day, put your phone down, turn off the noise, wake up earlier than your excuses, spend more time in solitude than in comparison. This is how warriors are made. Silently, patiently in the unseen hours. You must choose growth over comfort, clarity over confusion, intention over impulse. That is self-mastery. That is what will separate you from 99% of people this year. The most powerful person in any room isn't the loudest. It's the one with the most control over their mind, their emotions, their energy. That's your mission, to become so grounded that nothing outside of you can break what you've built inside. You will be tested. Life will throw chaos your way, but the person you're building will not break. They've trained for this. They've fortified their thoughts. They've strengthened their habits. They've chosen evolution over excuses. In the silence, you will meet yourself. In the stillness, you will craft your future. And in that focused solitude, you'll discover that you were never lacking. You were just distracted. In 2025, self-mastery is your superpower. And the best part, it's 100% in your control. Every single day, you have the choice to level up or to stay the same, to lead or to follow, to grow or to stagnate. Choose mastery. Choose yourself. Talk is cheap. Words are everywhere. They're posted, tweeted, whispered, shouted. Everyone's got a plan. Everyone's got a story, but only a few have proof. Only a few have results. And in 2025, results are the only language that counts. Actions speak louder than promises. Progress whispers louder than boasts. The real winners this year aren't telling the world what they're going to do. They're simply doing it. The world doesn't need another announcement. It needs execution. It doesn't care what you say. You've said it before. It's watching what you build, how you move, what you prioritize. So let your results be undeniable. Let your moves be felt, not flaunted. Let your energy shift rooms, not through noise, but through presence. In a society obsessed with flexing and performance, doing the work without broadcasting it becomes a rare and powerful form of rebellion. While others craft the perfect caption, you craft your character. While they seek applause, you seek mastery. That's the difference between those who rise once and those who never fall. You don't need to post every move. You don't need to convince anyone. The people who are meant to witness your greatness We'll see it when the time is right. Let the rest talk. Let them doubt. Let them overlook you. Because being underestimated is a superpower. It gives you space. Space to build, to rise, to stun the world when they least expect it. Every time you stay quiet and keep working, you add power to your future. Every time you choose discipline over validation, your momentum grows. Every time you sacrifice a distraction for a goal, you become more dangerous. When others are watching, perform. But when no one is watching, practice like your life depends on it. That's when you separate yourself. The work behind closed doors is what creates shockwaves in the open. The work no one sees is what creates the impact everyone feels. Make a habit of letting your actions speak for you. It's easy to say you're different, easy to claim you've changed, but the real evidence is in your consistency, your presence, your routine. Let people see the shift in your lifestyle, not just your language. Become allergic to unnecessary explanation. You don't owe anyone insight into your every move. You don't need to justify your silence. You don't need to defend your focus. You're building something. That's all that matters. And when the product is ready, it will speak volumes. Focus more on becoming and less on announcing. That's the key. Quiet progress is the strongest foundation. Loud plans often crumble under their own weight. Choose the path of resilience. Let people assume what they want while you prove them wrong with success they can't ignore. You don't rise by arguing, you rise by acting. The loudest rebuttal to doubt is results. The best revenge is excellence. The most effective power move is unstoppable execution. In 2025, become known for what you deliver, not what you declare. Be the one they can count on to show up, to get it done, to exceed expectations without needing recognition. Make your life your message. Make your habits your resume. Walk into rooms with quiet confidence, not because you told the world who you are, but because your actions made it clear. There's a power in that kind of presence. It's felt, it's respected, it's real. Let them gossip while you grind. Let them watch while you win. Let them talk while you transform. Your job is not to respond. Your job is to rise. Rise without noise. Rise without seeking permission. Rise until silence becomes your signature and results become your reputation. If you want peace, move in silence. If you want strength, master your reactions. If you want progress, stop announcing and start advancing. Actions are proof. Let them be your voice. Every morning, ask yourself, will what I do today move me closer to who I want to become? Then let that question guide every step. No more distractions, no more waiting, no more empty promises. Just effort, just work, just consistent action that builds an unshakable legacy. Because at the end of the day, the people who change the world aren't the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who did the most. Silence isn't just a strategy for today. It's the compass for your legacy. Because what you build when no one is watching, what you cultivate in the quiet corners of your life, becomes the foundation for what the world remembers you by. Legacy isn't about how loud you were. It's about how deeply you impacted, how consistently you showed up, and how silently you transformed. In 2025, your silence becomes sacred. Legacy is born from daily decisions. It's not one grand moment. It's a lifetime of consistent, silent, powerful effort. It's the result of waking up and doing the hard things, of turning pain into purpose, of choosing character over comfort, of walking away from validation and walking toward vision. One day someone will ask how you did it, how you built the life you have, how you became so grounded, so unstoppable, and all you'll have to say is, I stayed silent and stayed focused, because that's the truth. The applause may come later, the recognition may arrive in time, but your greatness was always growing in the dark. And here's the most beautiful part. Silence never fades. Noise is temporary. Viral moments disappear. But the impact you create from a focused life, that lasts. That echoes. That inspires long after you're gone. In 2025, let silence be your mentor. Let it keep you grounded when things get overwhelming. Let it protect your peace when the world pulls at you. Let it teach you how to listen, truly listen to your inner calling. You don't need to chase attention to leave a mark. You just need to chase purpose. Your silence gives you the clarity to do that. Your silence gives you the wisdom to walk your own lane. Your silence becomes the echo of your strength. So stand firm. Don't fall for the bait of distraction. Don't let noise become your identity. Let stillness sharpen your intuition. Let focus refine your skill. Let purpose replace pressure. In this silence, you don't shrink, you rise. You rise without a crowd. You rise without permission. You rise because your mission demands it. There will be days when silence feels lonely. Stay with it. There will be moments when the noise of others makes you question your path. Trust it anyway. Because this journey is not for everyone. It's for those who understand that the loudest impact is the one made without scream. And you're not here to prove. You're here to produce. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out by building something so solid, so valuable, so real that the world has no choice but to respect it. Let your silence make people curious. Let your transformation make people speechless. Let your consistency make them believe. This is your year. This is your time. Focus on yourself. Stay silent and let everything else align, because the legacy you're building in silence will one day roar louder than anything noise ever could.